Ladies and gentlemen, yes, this is your favorite show, Sports Unfolded, with your favorite hosts, Eric and Ron.
Hey! Little late, but welcome to the best sports podcast on the planet, Sports Unfolded, where we cover all of the top sports stories that have happened this past week. I am your host, Eric. Main man right over there, Ron. How are you tonight?
I'm doing okay. A little sad at some certain things that I got to do today, and that's not sitting well. And then all my football picks for last week really aren't making me
actually,
sit
you
very
didn't
well.
do too bad, but you didn't have a great week. You didn't have a great
I got
week.
four NFL games wrong.
Yeah, well, hey, listen, can't be perfect all the time. We're still waiting for you to fulfill that bet as well.
Yeah,
So,
it's today.
I cannot wait for that
I can
segment.
wait.
So, everybody, stay tuned for our prediction segment. And
I
this
was hoping
gentleman
you
right
weren't going
here,
to show up.
it was getting pretty close. It was getting tight, my friend. I will tell you this, man. PCs, they have a mind of their own when they want to work or not. It's amazing. But again, we are live. Want to thank everybody that joins the chat tonight. If you are on, join the chat. Let us know if you have an opinion.
Danny's already here.
Danny, thank you for joining. But feel free to chime in with anything that you feel you want to talk about, and we'd be more than willing to talk about that as well. But we've got a lot to cover this week, Ron. There was a lot that's happened in sports, so I'm excited to get going. If you're ready, I'm ready.
Oh, I'm ready.
All right, let's start off. You won all your NFL games. You did pretty well, Danny, last week on the NFL games. All right, let's start off with our leadoff story, and that's Dallas. The Dallas Cowboys have fired Mike McCarthy as their head coach. Ron, the question's going to be who should be their head coach going forward. I will say this.
I don't know about who should be.
I'm going to throw out a lot of names. I think
Let's
this
go.
might be the easiest way to do this. But I want you to bear two things in mind. First of all, they have to be able to work with Jerry Jones.
Mm-hmm.
And secondly, they have to be able to deal with Jerry Jones off the field with all of the shenanigans.
Yeah.
Okay. So let's start off with the hot name, and that is Lions offensive coordinator Ben Johnson. Ben Johnson, head coach for the Dallas Cowboys.
Well, that's an interesting one because imagine what he could do with this offense, with the talent that they have. I mean, it's not what it was a couple of years ago when you had two good running backs, and you had a couple of good wide receivers. And, I think their receiving core is still okay. I don't know how many players really want to stay, though. And that could be an issue.
Danny says no to Ben Johnson. I will say this. Ben Johnson does want his own guy as general manager.
Right.
Jerry Jones, general manager. I don't think it happens.
No, I don't either. I don't see a fit there.
All right. Eagles offensive coordinator, Kellen Moore, who was in Dallas as their offensive coordinator as well.
Yeah, I think that is probably the best bet in my book. I think that's the guy that they end up getting. Unless
we'll probably get to that other person's name.
Yeah.
After. I will say this. Listen, consistency with the offense, right? He knows Dak, that piece of it. I don't know what the falling out, if that was Mike McCarthy wanted him out or if that was Jerry Jones pushing him out. Danny's saying no to everybody so far. We know who you want, Danny. I get it, buddy. I get it. Lions defensive coordinator, Aaron Glenn. Was in Dallas, former Parcells ties.
I don't see a defensive coordinator going there.
All right. So then the next one is Cowboys defensive coordinator Mike Zimmer. I don't see that one at all. Their defense was not very good this year.
No.
Ravens offensive coordinator Todd Monken.
That's a possibility because you're looking at, Lamar Jackson and what he's been able to do. He would be an interesting selection. I think he's probably the guy they should go after. But I don't think it's going to. But I think it's going to be, Kellen Moore.
This name threw me for a loop. I didn't even know this was an actual thing. Former Cowboy Jason Witten.
That would be a big, big mistake. He has no experience whatsoever. I
agreed, but then is this the yes guy that Jerry Jones?
Well, that's the thing. That's what makes you question it.
Cowboys player, right? One of the best ever to do it in a Dallas uniform,
feeding off of Dan Campbell,
right? Yeah, possibly, right? So there's just
it wouldn't say, look, nothing Dallas does would surprise me, but. What would surprise me if it was Bill Belichick that came out of college to
believe it or not, he's not even on this list. Because I'm not even gonna,
Yeah, I don't think that could happen.
Yeah,
I
don't think so either. All right, how about this? I know you said no defensive coordinators, but what about defensive coordinator Brian Flores?
Well, that I would like too. Look, there are certain people. Obviously, we like Ben Johnson. I like Brian Flores. I think he got a raw deal in Miami. He can get a team going.
He could turn that team around quick.
He could be. I think he could be one of the best coaches in the league. And
Minnesota has not had a good defense.
Select him though.
Yeah, I agree with you. No Flores. Danny doesn't want anybody.
He wants prime time.
How about former Cowboy Deion Sanders?
Yeah, see, that is the glittery, shiny, option that
I don't think he makes them better.
That
right?
would end well.
Yeah, I don't see how. Listen, everybody's talking about prime, and I'm not saying he did a really good job in college. But again, he went, what was it, HBC school, HSBC school? You see, yes to prime. Then he takes Colorado. The first year they weren't very good. The second year you have probably the number one pick in the draft in Hunter and Shedeur Sanders, who is a very good quarterback. And you still were 8-6 or whatever it was. It wasn't like he blew the doors off the barn and it was like, holy cow, this guy was competing for a national championship. He needs talent. On top of that, he is very vocal, and we heard that with him in college. He likes to have his press conferences. He likes to be the top of the mountain when it comes to the organization. You cannot be that in Dallas. I do not think it works. I think people just want it because of the player he was.
I think that's a very big possibility, and that is probably 49% of what's going to happen. The other 51% belongs to Kellen Moore. But if they chose Sanders, I think it goes down in flames because I don't think he could directly answer to Jerry Jones. I don't think that's possible.
I don't either.
And it's a recipe for disaster.
Agreed.
You need a yes guy, like you said. You need a yes guy in Dallas, and no matter who it is not going to have all that great of success because of that fact. Because, frankly, Jerry Jones really doesn't know what he's doing.
And I will say this. I would not be surprised if Prime did sign with them because of this reason. He knows he's not going to have a very good team in Colorado next year. Like that ruins your image and all this aura about how great you are as a coach. If Colorado has a dog of a season next year.
And now all the portal guys are going to North Carolina.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Belichick's getting a lot of them. All right,
yes,
couple more. I don't think this is a legitimate one, but I'll throw it out there. It was on the article I read. Dolphins defensive coordinator Anthony Weaver. I don't see that.
Nope.
What about this one? Was pretty interesting though. Former head coach Ron Rivera.
That's a possibility because he would probably agree with Jerry's terms because of the fact he needs another chance to prove himself.
He wants a job, right? He's a coach at heart. This one's a good one too. Bills offensive coordinator Joe Brady.
Yeah, see, I see him going to a team that legitimately needs a change.
Okay. No, it's a good possibility. This one, to me, I wasn't thinking about it. It put it on the radar. I like this one the best. Ron reminds
Gerard
me
Mayo.
Costanza. He loves you and Costanza.
I guess.
Shador. So you get rid of so you bring Shador in, Danny, and then you take a $60 million cap hit with Dak Prescott. So you have no talent. I think that's a great move. This one to me was interesting. Washington Commanders offensive coordinator Cliff Kingsbury said he wants to get back into the coaching thing.
Mm-hmm.
Think about what he did with Jaden Daniels. He turned that around. I don't think he really wants the media spotlight.
Yeah.
And you take him away from Washington, which hurts your division opponent, So now to me, that gives Dallas another edge because you're taking away an offensive coordinator that is working very well with a young quarterback that could possibly
the number one pick.
Who?
That's what I'm asking.
Who has the number one? Who did we say last time? Oh my goodness, you're doing this again.
Tennessee?
Yes.
No, don't they need a head coach?
No.
Who's their coach?
I don't remember the guy's name, but yeah, they got him last year. They're not. Kingsbury sucks. Look at Washington's offense. Yeah, they stink. They've gone farther in the playoffs than your Dallas Cowboys, Danny.
See, I think Sanders wants to do a LeBron.
The problem is Dallas Cowboy fans are stuck in the 90s. Deion Sanders was a great player in the 90s, and you think it brings back all of this aura. It doesn't work. It doesn't work. Jerry Jones is going to ruin that team until he's no longer.
He's going to ruin it?
He's going to keep ruining it.
They haven't been good since the 80s. They haven't been relevant.
No, the 90s.
90s,
96. 96.
Still a long time ago.
So, you know who should be the head coach, Ron? I'm going to tell you right now. Mike McCarthy, who went 49-35 with the Cowboys.
And he's the perfect yes man.
And think about this. With 2 years of Cooper Rush. 2 years with Cooper Rush. The man still got 14 games over 500. He was not a bad coach. And as soon as his name became
good.
14 games over 5, that's pretty damn good.
Not that good.
It's pretty good. It's pretty good. Wait till you hear Vrabel's record. Not much better. Coach Prime is going to bring over the coaching staff from Colorado with him. I don't know if that helps them either, though. Like, I don't know what people think. His coaching staff wasn't that good. They weren't that good, Colorado. They had the best play in the country.
Yeah,
they had a top. They had a top 5 quarterback.
Yeah.
Take that off the team. What happens?
The only way that it could happen, the only way I think Deion Sanders goes to Dallas is if Dallas trades Dak to Tennessee for that number 1 pick.
And then you get Shador Sanders.
Yes.
But even that, I can't wait, because if that happens, Dallas is the bottom of the barrel when it comes to the NFC East. Without a doubt in my mind. Without a doubt in my mind. As much as people crap on Dak, he wins games. He stinks in the postseason.
That's the only way it's happening. Other than that, I can see Kellen and I can see Ron Rivera. I can see that happening.
I like the Cliff Kingsbury thing, but I
I
don't know.
don't know if he wants to go there though.
I don't think so either. But I'm saying I could see that one being the best of the options if it was. All right. Great Dallas Cowboy talk. We already got Danny's opinion. If anybody else has an opinion, let us know. But we're gonna continue talking about some NFL. The New England Patriots, Ron, have hired their next head coach, Mike Vrabel. Do you think they made the right choice? So before you get going, because I already know what you're going to say, and you criticize the 49-35 by Mike McCarthy, 6 years with Tennessee, 54-45. He's 9 games over 500.
Yeah, but I still take Dak over the crap pile
I'm not
that they
saying
had.
what I'm saying is that, again, he's right. So 2-3 in the postseason, 2021 Coach of the Year.
What's McCarthy in the postseason?
1-3. So Vrabel's got one more win.
There we go.
That's it. So what a great signing.
We got the right guy.
So news just came out.
I would have liked Ben Johnson, but
news came out. What's her name now? I just drew a blank. She left the team. She was one of the VPs, but she left the team now since being with the organization since 2007. So a lot of change going on in New England. And Mike Vrabel.
Did they say why she left?
They didn't say. I can't remember her name though. But I will say this: Ryan Cowden, former Tennessee interim GM, brought over, but supposedly to work under Elliott Wolf to assist Wolf, not the GM. Wolf is still the GM, but not making the call. I don't think that anybody knows what's going on in New England.
From what I understand, is that he's the GM, but Mike Vrabel is going to have ultimate say. Whether that's true or not, I'm not sure, because I'm not sure the Patriots are sure.
That's what I'm saying. Oh, Robin Glazer. She's left the organization. No longer with the team. This is what I'm saying. Like, I think, listen, I know you are very big on Mike Vrabel coming to New England.
I like him. I like him.
But I also feel like this
wasn't my top choice. But
I get. But this is also like the prime thing in Dallas.
But I knew that was going to happen.
People remember the coach. People remember the player, thinking he's going to come back in here and change things. Robert Kraft is making the decisions for the New England Patriots. No one else. And this is why they are where they are now. This is why Bill Belichick is not here anymore.
Look, I get all of this stuff that's happened with this franchise. And I think the last couple of years, I think Bob Kraft kind of tightened the screws a little, so that way he wasn't going to spend money and hope that Belichick can make them win, right? It didn't happen. They fire him, and he brings on Mayo to be that yes guy, right? That didn't work, and he took a lot of crap from it. Maybe he's decided, let's go the route that we should have gone in the first place, get a guy in here that can lead the team and get this team playing with some quality talent with him. Maybe he had an epiphany in between the scotch and bourbon. And today we're all Patriots again. I don't know. I don't know. Proof is in the pudding.
Here's my problem. Is Robert Kraft in the Hall of Fame?
I don't know.
He isn't.
Is he?
No, the last couple of years, they have not elected him in. He wants to put his mark on this team as, hey, I got rid of Brady. I got rid of Belichick. We start to win again. Right now, all of a sudden, you got to put him in. He's a lock. He's a lock to get into the Hall of Fame. The problem is the decisions he's making is actually making this team worse, which is hurting his chances of getting. I saw that. It's hurting his chances to get into the Hall, because I think what these guys are looking at now is like, what a dumpster fire New England is the last, X amount of years.
Couple of years.
Right?
Easily a couple of years.
And he's the guy pulling all the strings. And I felt like this was a move by him. Mayo was not ready. That was obvious. But then you get Vrabel, who's, again, the fan favorite. It's not the best choice for the job. But
no, it's not the best choice, but it was not the worst. It was not a Mayo move.
Yeah, but it takes
pressure off. This is a guy that has coached and can coach. And I think I think he has a plan. And personally, I mean, there is a difference between what New England has done and what Tennessee has done. Tennessee never gave him a quarterback.
It may run with Ryan Tannehill, so I mean, that part of it you got to be impressed with,
right?
Right, because Tannehill's not a very good quarterback.
I mean, look again. The proof is going to be in the pudding. Is Robert Kraft going to open up his wallet to the players that he wants? This team is in position to possibly make a run at the division.
Right. You turn it around quick. You're right. Free agency, most money to spend, and then the draft. You go out, you got to get right.
You need, then you draft the best player.
That fourth pick has to be perfect.
Right.
It's either got to be a massive pass rusher, or it's got to be an offensive lineman that's going to be there for the next 10 years. If they don't get that right, it doesn't matter anyway. Question is, who's going to be making that call?
Now, would you rather have Vrabel making that call or Elliott Wolf? Vrabel, right? And that is the hope that all Patriot fans
that's what I'm
hoping
saying.
For.
Why would they have left
it?
We
don't know.
Excuse me. Why would they have left it in so much doubt, though? Why would they have not just said, he's our GM, this is our guy, blah, blah, blah? What is all this with Elliott Wolf still on the staff, not making decisions, but will be part? Like, what are we doing?
Yeah.
Like, just figure it out. Who's your guy? Period. Done. Move on.
What New England needs is to overhaul the scouting. Period.
We've been saying that for 15 years, probably.
Yeah, pretty much.
You know what I mean?
Maybe Vrabel is doing his homework. Look, I know it's not the pick that neither one of us wanted. And I'm sure you wanted Johnson as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
And because what he could have done with the offense is probably better than anybody could come in. Now,
I was just hoping he'd come in with a press conference saying he's going to bite people's knees off. We could all laugh at it. And then in 5 years, we're actually playing for a title again. Like, it worked in Detroit. But go ahead. I'm sorry.
It did. Now, are you okay with Josh McDaniels coming into the fold as right? So this is what we got. The chances are he's probably going to be the guy.
That's what I'm saying. Like, you're running it all back with the same cast of characters. Hey, this movie stunk, right?
Yeah.
And then you know what we're going to do? We're going to make a sequel, part 2, and we're going to keep the same actors with the same story and the same script.
Yeah.
And it'll be better. It isn't. And I don't get it what people are seeing with this Vrabel move, especially with some of the things that are coming out with Josh McDaniels as an offensive coordinator coming back, and that's the right choice. Absolutely. If it was 2010, I'd be great. It's 2024.
Yeah.
But anyway.
You need somebody that fits the quarterback. Now, I'm going to ask the question. I got a feeling I know the answer. Would you be okay if Alex Van Pelt stayed?
Yes. Believe it or not.
I was thinking too.
Yeah, I felt like they got better as the season went on. You saw more things coming from it.
May did well with him.
And again, now you add talent where
you add talent, exactly.
Alex
then
Van
those
Pelt,
plays work.
Yes. There we go. Here's an idea. Let's run plays with people that actually can run the plays.
We had a CFL team.
Yeah, if that. All right. Let's talk a little more NFL. divisional weekend, the playoffs this weekend. Quick hitters. We will pick these games at the end of the show. But
Yeah,
let's just
so
talk a little
Danny,
bit.
don't pick the games yet. Don't pick them.
Put Jaden Daniels backup quarterback for Darius Sanders for my Dallas guy. Danny, what are you on, bro? I want some of it. Because you are on some good stuff, my friend. Good
I hate
stuff.
to tell you, he's not going to Dallas.
Is marijuana legal out in California? I think it is.
Hey, Danny, how old are you?
Yeah, is it legal in California? That's what I need to know too. All right, real quick. Let's quick hitters, things you're looking for this weekend. Start off with the Texans at the Chiefs. Texans at the Chiefs, Ron.
Oh, I just hope that Texans can actually be in the game.
So possibly no Joe Mixon. Big. That'd be big. Texans. That would hurt them.
It's over if he's not playing.
But I will say this, Ron, and I thought about this. Chase for the three-peat. How much pressure does that put on the Chiefs? Remember when New England was going for that perfect season? And during the postseason, every game got tighter. Like you could see it getting tighter and tighter. And I don't know if they're going to feel that pressure, Kansas City. If it's a close game, watch out.
Yeah, I mean,
no, I don't
a lot is going to depend on that defense, right?
Guys, what are you guys talking about? Danny, you're all right, buddy. Danny, how old are you, by the way? He did ask. How old are you? All right. What about the second game here, Ron? Commanders at Lions.
That's an interesting one because I'll tell you, as of right now, would you not consider Daniels as the best rookie quarterback ever?
Pretty damn close. He's done some really good
you're
things.
only talking C.J. Stroud right now, right?
Yeah. 41 and single. All right. If anybody wants Danny, we might become a dating show at some point. I like it. You picked up a dude a couple weeks ago. Now Danny's single. Bring me up on live. We will have fun. All right. Lions home field advantage, right? Like if you blow this now, there's your best opportunity you've ever had to get to the Super Bowl.
Yeah, when you think about it, we're going to be talking a little more about Detroit quarterbacks in history, but
yeah, whew.
I'll tell you,
yikes.
What Jaden Daniels is doing could be historic.
Think about where that team was.
This kid has a lot of poise.
Yeah.
He sees what's going on out there. I'll tell you.
He makes plays.
He might be the better draft pick for last season. Well, in between the two, I should say.
Oh, he definitely was. That I'll definitely give you. He was.
I think he's a superstar, in the making.
Listen, if he wins this game, holy cow. But I agree with you there.
It would be a huge upset.
This game's interesting to me, even though I didn't think it would be. Rams at Eagles. Rams, now, I looked at it this way, though, Ron. The experience. They've been there. Stafford, Cup, right? Like they won a Super Bowl.
Now you got.
The question can be, can they stop? Can they? Puka Nacua. Can they stop the running attack of the Eagles? The last time these teams played in the regular season, Barkley went off for 255 yards.
Yeah.
But if Barkley's not able to do that, the Rams have a shot here, no? We're not picking yet, Danny. Hold on, buddy.
I think they do have a shot. And look, strange things can happen, right? Isn't it the storybook that Stafford is supposed to play the Detroit Lions?
Yeah. It could be, right? And imagine that he knocks him out going to the Super Bowl. Oof.
Could you imagine?
Oh, yeah. That would hurt.
These are storybooks that get written, and you're looking at this, and you don't think Stafford wants this so bad? He wants to show Detroit who he is.
Yeah, listen.
And you don't think that team is rallying behind him to play? And then you throw in the fact of the LA Fires on top of that, how they've lost, I guess they lost their practice field and stuff like that. And
Yeah.
like, look, this is written to be a story that
you are right.
is made for Hollywood.
You are right. And LA, Hollywood. Good call, buddy. All right. Last game, probably the biggest game of the weekend. Ravens at Bills.
Oh my God. This is going to be
right.
There are so many things about this game.
You know what's sad about this, Ron? I don't want to see either one of them lose because I want to see, right? Like,
it's almost not fair.
Yeah, like it's too early.
It's not fair.
Yeah, meeting of the MVPs.
Look, you look at this game. Winner is probably getting MVP. I don't care what they say. This is the game that's going to decide the MVP.
100%.
The loser is going to take so much criticism for not getting it done.
Again, right? Again.
Like it's
think about this too, Ron. They picked up Derrick Henry for this reason.
Yeah.
Like these are the games now. You're going to go on the road in Buffalo. It's probably going to be 10 degrees. Who knows what kind of weather?
It's going to be -3 with the wind chill.
Even better. Right. And now you picked them up for this reason. Right. So it's not all on Lamar's shoulders. But yet you feel like Lamar has to do the most for them to win.
But the Buffalo Bills run defense is pretty decent.
They are. And then Josh Allen's been playing like out of his mind. The kid is.
You stop Derrick Henry, I think you win the game.
Like trash car.
Now look, I know you have an MVP candidate on Baltimore as a quarterback, right? But I really believe if they stop Derrick Henry, they win this game. Look, you got the swirling wind, right? Josh Allen was made for this field. He was made for this field. That arm strength is better than anybody's in the league. Anyone. And yes, Lamar has those legs, right? But so does Josh Allen.
Yeah. Yeah.
This could be a 40-38 game.
I can't wait to see that one. We will make our predictions at the end of the show. So stay tuned for that so that you can pick your winners for the game. But Ron, let's move on to some starting five.
Oh, yeah. It is graphic. I was going to put Stafford into Detroit and Goff in St. Louis. But
I will say this, Ron,
I'll put them both in Detroit.
Ladies and gentlemen that are watching, this is not a joke. This is a real thing we're doing. We figured out it's NFL playoffs, Detroit. We are going to give you our starting 5 Detroit Lions quarterbacks of all time. And I'm going to tell you right now, it was tight. It was
now
hard.
You know why they sucked.
Yeah, it was hard to get 5 of them. But I even have an honorable mention. I have an honorable mention, Ron.
I have one.
Me too. All right, you are first this week, so I am dying to hear your honorable mention.
Your honorable mention has to be Rodney Peete.
Rodney Peete, baby.
I knew it had to be.
Right? Like, I mean, he stunk.
Nobody else had a winning record.
I mean, these teams, I went Rodney Peete. My honorable mention. It's so bad.
As I die because of this segment.
Holy cow. Man, it's pretty bad. Crazy.
I was cursing you through the whole thing. I'm like, why the hell is he making us do this?
That is something crazy. You're right, Kenny. Thanks for joining. It is crazy. So wait till you hear the list, Kenny. Wait till you hear the list. I can't wait. Let's see. I don't know if we're going to have the same, but it's going to be some names that people might not even know. At number 5,
they don't know them.
At number 5 for you.
At number 5, I have. Milt Plum.
Reach.
Milt Plum, 56 and 41 and 6 ties. He had a winning record. I got a feeling you put him higher.
I don't even have him on my list.
Oh, okay. Well, I had to go back to the beginning in order to get a quarterback.
I might have missed him because, I'll tell you, at number 5 for me, and it was more because of Megatron in that offense, I went Scott Mitchell. Even though
he was not even on my list.
He stunk. 4th in completions all time, 4th in touchdown passes all time in Detroit Lions history. Record. He stunk. I'm not disagreeing. So did the other 2 of the other guys. They're not very good. They're not very good. Detroit, we feel for you. Now we understand. This is so important for us to win this week.
Oh,
you gotta. Ron, 4. Who's your 4?
Number 4, I have Bobby Lane. He was 80, 48, and 4. He's an all-star in my book.
So let me ask you this question, though. Did you do it based on their overall or their Detroit Lions record?
Overall, but you had to play at least 3 years in Detroit.
See, mine were all based on Detroit Lions only. Nothing else.
Yeah, no, because
just what they did with
penalize
Detroit.
Some of these quarterbacks.
I had to. Detroit Lions.
But Bobby Lane was 3-1 in the playoffs. He went 2-0 one year, 1-0 one year, and 0-1 one year.
Okay.
So he actually has, I believe, 2 of those championships from way back.
Not with the
3
Lions.
of them, actually. So he's got 6 Pro Bowls, which is far more than anybody.
I didn't even look at Pro Bowls.
2 All-Pro. He's got 3 NFL championships.
Yeah, see, you went with that whole. I went with just their Detroit Lions, but that's all right.
He did win 2 with Detroit way back in the beginning.
When it doesn't count. Yeah, okay. All right, so at 4.
It counts.
It is. At number 4 for me, I don't know if I could even see.
You can't put him number 4.
Eric Kramer. Eric Kramer.
Oh, Eric Kramer.
He played from 91 to 93.
I know.
They have
3 seasons.
Ron. They have 11 playoff wins total. The starting quarterbacks for the Detroit Lions. He had one of them, so I put him at number 4.
Yeah, he did have one.
He had one win in the postseason.
I have all their records in the playoffs.
It was so bad. It was so bad. All right, at number 3, Ron.
At number 3, Earl Morrall. Morrall or Morale? We'll say Morale because that's about the last time they had it. He was 63 and 36 with 3 ties, 20,000 plus yards. Pretty good way back then. He had 2 Pro Bowls, 2 All-Pro, 3 Super Bowl championships, and 1 NFL championship.
Matthew Stafford, Jared Goff.
He won He won MVP in 1968.
Wow, Eric Hipple. All right.
Eric Hipple. Oh, I know who that is.
At 3
He's on this list. Not in there, but
at 3 for me, Jared Goff. Since 2021 to current, second most wins.
What the hell are you looking? Who the hell?
You did it different. That's why. I just went strictly Detroit Lions stats. Only with the Lions.
Yeah, well, you didn't say that. If you would have said only with the Lions, I would have did it just Lions.
Jared Goff at 3. You know why, Ron? Second most wins in Detroit Lions history in the postseason with 2.
Yes.
He's got
only Bobby Lane ahead of him.
Last year, 2 wins. He's second all time in Detroit Lions history for wins. Second in completions with 1,511.
This is hideous, Eric.
Jared Goff at number 3 for me.
See, I can't believe you have him way down there. I'm sorry. You
well,
can't
you'll
put
find.
him down
well,
there.
I had to go with number 2 for you was
Matthew Stafford, number 2.
Okay.
Yes.
because you did their whole
And
career. Yes, that's why. Yeah, different.
well, there are several reasons. First
Go
of
ahead.
all, he's 0-3 in the playoffs for Detroit.
He was.
He also has a losing record in Detroit. 108, a career. Well, he definitely was a losing record in Detroit. But 108 and 113 and one tie for his career. A lot of those losses came in Detroit. But he threw for 59,000 plus yards, 377 touchdowns, 188 interceptions. Now, because if you double Goff's interceptions and then you double his touchdowns, Goff would have more.
Okay.
So when it comes time to when they get to that even spot, he's going to have more touchdowns.
All right. Because that number 2 for me, Bobby
He also
Lane.
has 4 Pro Bowls.
Bobby Lane, who you talked about, played from 1950 to 1958.
Yeah.
The best winning percentage in Detroit Lions
3-1.
history with 643 winning percentage.
Yep.
For Detroit, only for Detroit. Second most in wins with 53. He won 53 games with the Detroit Lions.
Yep.
And the most playoff wins in Detroit Lions history with 3.
3. Yeah.
That's pretty good. But at number 1, I'm going to assume you have.
I have Jared Goff, who has a winning record in his career, 19 games above 500. So I had to reward him for that. Believe me, I think Matthew Stafford is a gunslinger. I think he's a solid not a great quarterback, but a very good quarterback. They didn't give him a whole lot of help on defense. Not very much at all. He would have to score 40 points to get wins.
No, listen, I'm not saying I went Stafford at 1. 09 to 2020. Most wins in Lions history with 74. Most passing yards with 45,109. And most touchdowns in Lions history with 282.
It's splitting hairs with the two.
He put money, he put numbers up, but they're pretty bad. They were bad. They've not had really a lot of success with quarterbacks.
You have to go back to the beginning for them to have success, and then didn't have success until now.
Yeah, it's pretty sad. Pretty sad. All right, Ron. That was our starting 5 for the Detroit Lions quarterbacks. All right, let's talk some NBA. Big game last night.
I'm freezing.
Should we consider Oklahoma City Thunder the favorites to win the NBA championship this year? Just defeated the Cleveland Cavs pretty convincingly last night.
At home?
Yes, I believe so. But I will say this, Ron. They have beaten both top teams they beat the Celtics as well.
At home.
The number 1 scoring player in the league right now, in Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. Number 1 defensive team in the league, 103.6 points per game they're giving up. Number 1 in point differential at plus 13. So they're not just beating teams, they're beating teams convincingly. 4th in blocks. They got 5 players averaging double digits. They're 7 games ahead in the Western Conference, Ron, which would put them at the number 1 seed in the West, which they are 18-2 at home.
Well, look, the way they're playing this certainly are the favorites, but I'm kind of old school thinking until you knock the Celtics off, you're not the favorite. But with that being said, I say by all means, let them be the favorites, because if the Celtics are getting any shade and not counted, I think the Celtics would like that.
I'm starting to fear the Celtics, though. And I mean, I think they're like 500 in their last 15.
Yeah.
Yeah. He also he averages 2 steals a game.
Yeah, the guy is an
blocks,
incredible player. I think he might be the best player in the league.
So we talked about Tatum and Brown taking that leap. This kid's taking that leap now. That's what scares me. and the rest of the team's playing well around him.
Yeah.
So I don't know. The way they beat Cleveland, too. Cleveland has played very well. And they just put the nail to the coffin.
Yeah, and Cleveland lost 2 games this past week.
Yeah. They lost, back-to-back to them? I think they've lost 2 games in a row. Oh, no. Cleveland beat them the last time. Something like that. But it's going to be an interesting season with Oklahoma City. I just feel like they got young. Think about what they did, too, getting rid of Durant and all those guys, and then they built that draft up and got very young, quality players, and it paid off.
Yeah.
So
I mean, look, they're playing well. They're certainly a contender by far. You know, I think they're clearly right now the best team in the West. Clearly, it's not even a debate, really. I mean, I saw the Celtics go into Houston and kind of make them look bad. And then they went into Oklahoma City and they got sent to the door. So, and then they did it to Cleveland as well. So, the team is for real. They are certainly a contender. If they're called the favorites, that's fine. I have no problem with that because they're playing better basketball than anyone. They got a legitimate superstar.
Yeah. Agreed.
And he's young.
I think I put them ahead of everybody right now.
I do.
And it's because of the defense too. The way they're playing defense. I think they're fourth. They're fourth in blocks. Yeah, they're fourth in blocks as a team. Like everybody, like defense, and defense wins championships. Everybody says the offense, but when it comes down to it, if you can stop a team consistently, you're gonna win games. So it'll be fun to watch. They're gonna be a good team. Lakers look really bad, not good. LeBron needs to be traded.
Okay, Danny, you need to get off the Lakers bandwagon. Jump off.
Trade
the bum is not going to carry you to the promised land.
Trade him to Cleveland. He said back to Cleveland. I can't. Danny. All right, Ron.
They don't want him.
No, they're not taking him back. Let's talk some Major League Baseball. Sad story. Baseball legend Bob Uecker passed away at the age of 90. Your thoughts on his career? So I'm going to mention his numbers, Ron, before we get into everything else. Because the crazy thing is, and they were saying Johnny Carson called him Mr. Baseball, but it wasn't for his baseball stats. Because in 6 years in the Major League Baseball, played for the Milwaukee Braves, St. Louis Cardinals, Philadelphia Phillies, and the Atlanta Braves. He batted 200. He had 146 hits, 14 home runs, 65 runs, 74 runs batted in. He did win a championship in 1964, I believe, with the St. Louis Cardinals. It was everything after baseball.
It's the broadcasting.
Right?
The broadcasting is top notch.
Right?
He's a guy that it doesn't matter how bad a team is, you want to tune in to listen to him.
He was not with the Dodgers, Danny. But it was just sad to think about, right? Like, he was just a fun guy to listen to. And every time he did a game, you're right? He would say something that even if it was a bad game, you kind of wanted to see if he was going to say something to make it laugh. But then think about...
That's the thing. Eric, he is one of the best broadcasters of all time. Of all time. And look, if you can be like Bob Uecker, it doesn't matter what team you're calling. It doesn't matter. You're going to have people tune in just to listen to you because that's...
He had a home run off Sandy Koufax, yeah.
Yes, he did. Look, he's not in the Baseball Hall of Fame for his stats. No, it's for his broadcasting.
His broadcasting was by far one of the top notch.
Think about just the movie Major League.
Oh, I still say just a bit outside. When he said that, there it is, Kenny just said it as I said it. just a bit outside of things. Like it was just the way he did things. And then Ron, my biggest memory of him too, those Miller Lite commercials. Like
Oh
he
my
did,
God!
and
I
my
watched one today.
yeah, and one of my favorite ones is he was sitting in the last row, and the guy he's like, "You flip this around, I'm in the front row." Like it was just like, and I mean, it was a gem. He was a gem, a baseball legend in so many ways. It's just a sad, sad story. 90, a cancer again. We've said that way too much.
Yeah, and it's when you get these deaths in January, it's not going to go very well for the rest of the year for these deaths, and it's equivalent to losing like Hall of Famers like Willie Mays last year.
Yeah.
I mean, this is equivalent to that. I mean, that's impressive when people can consider you a legend and you hit 200 as a career. And you're a legend.
In baseball, right? Like it's crazy. Wow. Yeah.
It's too bad because it's like that's part of growing up, and it's part of like a lot of years in my life as a baseball fan. They always, no matter what team you like, when they go into Milwaukee, they always talk about Bob Uecker. Always. Yeah. Doesn't matter what team it is. They talk about Bob Uecker.
Yes. Yeah. Obviously, R.I.P. Bob Uecker. Our condolences to his family as well, and the baseball community, because that's another tough one for them. All right, we're gonna move on though. We're gonna talk we're gonna talk some split decisions, Ron. Hold on, I almost skipped the segment yet. Our split decision segment, basically, we give each other two more likely questions, and then we got to make a decision. You are first this week, Ron. So I am looking forward to your first split decision.
Okay, let's do this one first. Who is more likely to win the final 3 NFL playoff games? Lamar Jackson, Josh Allen, or Jalen Hurts? Because they all are going to hear it if they lose.
All right. So obviously one of them can't automatically because they're playing each other this week.
Right.
So I'd have to say who I'm picking out of that game if I was going that way. So I'm going to go Jalen Hurts because I'm not picking that game yet. But I will say Jalen Hurts, I do feel like the NFC has got an easier path. And then, you get to the Super Bowl, it's one game. And if it's against Kansas City again, the 3-peat thing in their head, maybe they're not able to do it. So I would go Jalen Hurts.
That's interesting because these guys are all up against it this year, right?
Yeah.
Because if they lose, they're going to hear he can't get it done. He cannot get it done. And that could tailspin their careers, to be honest with you.
It sticks with you, right? Every year.
It does.
Until you actually get there. All right, Ron, my first split decision.
So Danny agrees with you. He agrees that it's Jalen Hurts.
All right. So my first split decision, Ron. Which NFL free agent quarterback is more likely to be back with this same team next season? Russell Wilson, Justin Fields, or Jacoby Brissett?
Oh, I thought you were gonna go out to Minnesota, Sam Darnold.
I think that's a done deal. I think they're gonna resign. I thought that was an easy one if I went Sam Darnold.
I don't know if that's easy.
Yeah, I don't. I think they're gonna franchise him for 1 year. See if they could spark it one more.
All right, so we have Russell Wilson,
Justin Fields, and Jacoby Brissett.
Who's going to stay with the team?
Going to remain with that team next year.
I agree with Danny on this for the simple reason they did not win with Russell Wilson, and let's face it, he didn't perform very well. Now, with that being said, I think it's the same results with Justin Fields. you know, um, but I don't
Just
think
good enough,
Jacoby
but no.
Brissett goes back, and I don't think Russell Wilson goes back.
Yeah, and I don't think Russell goes to Seattle, Danny. I can't see that bridge has been burned way. There's no way.
No, that's not going to happen.
Yeah, there's no way. But I think he's going to go to another team. I think he's definitely going to try to give it one more. The old college
Carolina.
try.
Yeah.
The old college try. The old college try. Carolina. All right, Ron, your second split decision.
All right. Which player is more likely to be traded? Zion Williamson or Steph Curry? Both are not in the playoffs right now.
Who would be more likely to be traded would be Steph. I don't think either one can, just based on their contract. But I don't think any team would touch Zion just based on his performance, health. He's not shown that he could be a consistently good player. So I can't see a team even wanting to make that decision.
Yeah, and then you get the other side where if they trade Steph Curry, they're going to hear it from their fan base.
Yeah, but at least you could see why a team would want to do it.
Right.
I can't. Zion, forget it. No way. But that's a good question. I like that one. That was really good. All right, Ron. Well, NBA as well for me here. Which 11th seed, Ron, in the NBA is more likely to make the play-in tournament? The Philadelphia 76ers or the Golden State Warriors? Both are the 11th seed currently.
Well, Embiid is hurt again.
Yeah, he's out. Shocked. I would have put it on here, but it's old news because we keep covering it.
I'm going to say Philadelphia.
Really?
Yeah. Okay. I think Golden State is going to make the trade. I think they are going to start trading away those veterans because it's really the only thing they can do right now. They can't really do anything.
Yeah. Danny agrees with you too. 76.
And I think Philadelphia. Look, I know Detroit is playing better now, but I still think they're going to tailspin and they're going to fall out of it. And I think Philadelphia will take that spot.
Okay. Golden State sucks. Danny, I as a Laker fan, very good. I appreciate that. All right, Ron. Let's talk some NHL, my friend. Your number one topic. Alex Ovechkin broke another NHL record, passing Jaromir Jagr for most goalies scored upon. Do you think this is a big stat? Is this a big deal?
I don't think it's a big deal right now because for the simple reason, when Jaromir Jagr played, everybody had their starting goaltender that played 60 games. And your backup played 15 to 20. Nowadays, goaltenders are in demand. Okay, there's a lot of teams that don't have one.
Is this what you're going to say? Like last year with the Bruins, where you get Ullmark and Swayman switching every.
And yes, that is a big thing too. You get those good teams. Look, Rangers have their two with Quick as the backup.
Uh-huh.
So a lot of teams are doing that. And then there's also a lot of teams that just don't have any goaltending. And they're going through goaltender after goaltender after goaltender. And they're playing 4 of them in a season. So
the kid,
I don't think it's a big deal.
Yeah, I think the kid he scored on, it was 8 games in. He's only played in 8 national hockey games. So I think it is a decent stat, though. 179 different goalies, which is pretty remarkable.
It's a cool stat, but it's not a big deal at this point.
So I thought we'd have a little fun, Ron. A little do you know?
Oh, yes. Oh, I'm excited.
All right. So I've got 4 goalies. Okay. You want to start from the back to the most or the most to the back?
The most of what?
Which goal he says he scored the most goals on against?
Oh, okay. All right. So
You could either go
you get the top 4 goaltenders.
top 4.
So I'm guessing it's probably going to be goaltenders from his division.
Okay.
So I'm going to think of, let me see. So that could be our, and I can't even think, what's the, I'm lost for a name. Who the hell is the goaltender for the Rangers?
Shesterkin?
Okay, yeah. So if I was to say a top 4, I'm going to say Tom Barrasso.
Okay.
I'm going to say that's I'm going to say Hart from Philadelphia.
Okay.
Oh my God, it's been like a revolving door for Islanders. So I'm going to say it's not going to be. I'm going to say Elvis Meslinkins or whatever his name is.
Okay.
Merzlinkus or something. And what else is there?
One more, buddy.
And I will say Shesterkin.
All right, Shesterkin. You went 0 for 4. Okay.
Damn.
0 for 4. None of them. So we'll go from the least to the most. So caveat is there's 4 goalies, but 2 are tied with 22 goals scored against.
Okay.
And that would be Kari Lehtinen.
Yep.
And Carey Price. 22
Carey
goals
Price.
in his
Really?
career
Wow.
against them.
Montreal's not even in their division.
So 22 goals against them. At number 2, Henrik Lundqvist.
For the Rangers. Okay. Yeah, because we're going back a ways. Yep.
24. He scored 24.
Yeah, it makes sense. Right team, wrong guy.
Most goals ever scored against. So again, 179 goalies, but he scored the most against this goalie, Marc-Andre Fleury, with 28.
Pittsburgh, yeah.
28.
I had Tom Barrasso, wrong goalie.
So that is who he's scored the most goals against in his career. But 179.
Kenny, treat him like he does me. I don't cheat Kenny. I actually give him easy ones that he should have.
Kenny went 0 for 4, Kenny. He didn't get any of them.
I didn't get any. But I did have three of the right teams. I did have 3 of the right teams.
He's just throwing names out. I love this kid.
I think
Danny,
those are the
right,
ones that
guy.
he was picking for the answer, and he was wrong.
All right. All right, Ron, but we're going to continue with some of this NHL with our pick and roll.
That was pretty good. Wait, I got some news.
It's time for
I got some news.
All right. Your news before the pick and roll.
So, Cam Neely had a little press conference.
Okay.
And they asked him if they were planning on making a trade. And he says, we're not going to do that until we know if we're buyers or sellers. So this is what we got until he knows.
Not sure local radio if you heard the story, but there's been a lot of rumors now going around. Pasternak and Marchand are not getting along so well. Okay.
Didn't happen.
They started to play better once that story came out.
I'm just saying.
Didn't
happen.
I don't know. All right. Tonight's pick and roll, Ron. We're sticking with this NHL theme. It is episode 3 of season 5. Believe it or not. Is that not insane to say?
You're going to like these graphics.
All right. These, look at that. They all look like they're dancing. It's like, I feel like they should be doing some kind of dance there. We got to come up with a dance for that. It's pretty cool.
You should be dancing.
just a dancing machine. These NHL active players, these are all active players, have won 3 Stanley Cups. So episode 3 Stanley Cups. Alec Martinez, Patrick Maroon, Evgeny Malkin, Patrick Kane, and Sidney Crosby. We are going to rank them from 5 to 1. Ron, you are first this week. Your pick and roll.
I'm sure you probably have it this way.
Okay, let's see.
Number 5, Pat Maroon. The big goon that did nothing for Boston in the playoffs.
I know it was coming.
So it's no wonder I put him last.
I'm surprised.
But his numbers really dictate this.
Yeah.
821 games, 123 goals, 191 assists, 314 points, which is pretty good for a goon. Plus 10 in his career. Plus 10. 19 game winners, so he was lining it up. 3 Stanley Cups, of course. They all have 3. He has nothing else.
That's
so
it?
He was number 5.
Okay.
Number 4, Alec Martinez. 830 games, so he played 9 more games, has less goals with 85, 198 assists, which was more, but 283 points, which was less, but he is a stay-at-home defenseman, which his plus-minus was a plus 81, second best on this list, but he only made it to number 4 because he has nothing else to go along with the accolades, because he's a stay-at-home defenseman.
Yep. No.
He's a good defenseman.
Hey, 3 cups.
Number 3, Patrick Kane. 1,269 games, 482 goals, 831 assists. He's a plus 10. Not good enough, Patrick.
Just making it.
80 game winners. He was a 4-time All-Star. Calder Trophy. 1 Art Ross for scoring. 1 Smythe for playoff MVP. 1 MVP in the Hart Trophy. And then 1 Pearson, which is voted on by your peers as the MVP. Number 2, I have Evgeny Malkin. Less games, more goals than Patrick Kane. 506 goals, 823 assists for 1,329 points, which is 16 more than Patrick Kane.
Mm-hmm.
He also has a big whopping plus 34.
Whopping.
And he has 5 more game winners in less games. So he also won a Calder Trophy, 3 All-Stars, 2 Art Ross. So he went more than Patrick Kane. And then 1 in Smythe, Hart, and Pearson. And then number 1, which I actually got to give this guy credit, right?
Well, hold on.
Really...
I think I hear the earth coming. Wait, it's crashing as we speak.
Yes. Look, he was at one point really close with Evgeny Malkin. Teammates, mind you. He was close. They were close together, and it was tough to define. But now that gap has spread apart.
A little wide.
13-18 in games played. He has 604 goals, so almost 100 more than Malkin. 1,040 assists, 1,644 points, which is 300 more than Malkin. He is a plus 200. So now the gap between, him and a lot of other players, he has surpassed people since last year. Still not in my top 10. Shouldn't be in anybody's top 5. But a plus 200 is incredible. Look, he's a great face-off guy. he can play both ways. You know, he can defend. This guy is talented. He's great. He's a great player. Not top 10 though. 93 game winners, which is incredible. But it's surprising he didn't win the Calder Trophy. That was surprising to me. 8 All-Stars. So one more than the rest of these guys. 2 Art Ross for scoring. 2 Smythe for playoff MVP. 2 MVPs with Hart. And 3 Pearson. So the players are saying he should have won 3 Harts. 2 Rocket Richards for the most goals in a season. And, of course, a Mark Messier Award for leadership. Mm-hmm. And he does have that. He does have that. Look, he's going to be a Hall of Famer.
Okay. Well, spots unfolded Hall of Famer.
I don't hate Crosby. But those that pick him for top 5 all time is not accurate. A top 5 all-time player does not only win 2 scoring titles.
I'm proud of you. I'm going to give you one of these today. You got it right.
I know I got it right.
So, again, some of these guys, look, Maroon.
You said you were going to have the same list.
Yeah, Alec Martinez, Patrick Kane, Evgeny Malkin, and then Sidney Crosby. So, no, it was, listen, I think the plus 200 really impressed me.
That is
with
impressive.
Crosby. I think out of all the numbers, like plus 200 is pretty impressive for
it's not Ray Bork or Wayne Gretzky.
But again, not a defenseman. And Gretzky is Gretzky. Listen.
Or Mike Bossy. I'm sorry.
But, there was some intrigue in that one. How about mine?
I'll tell you what.
Well, you're adding names, Danny. I don't know how you know how a game works. We gave 5 names. You gave us just eight guys.
Yeah, no, it has to be of those guys that we gave.
And again, look, Towers didn't win.
I know
I
hop on Sidney Crosby a lot. By no means am I comparing him to LeBron James. By no means. But I don't know where he's going to end up. But it isn't going to be top 10.
I agree with you.
I think there's just too many guys that are ahead of him right now, and he's chipping away at it. I mean, the guy's got over 600 goals. It's fantastic. I don't know.
All right. Kessel wasn't in, and Tiles wasn't in our list. All right, we'll get you there, Danny, at some point. All right.
You'll figure it out.
All right, Ron, before we get into our predictions, you want to bring up the Hall of Fame? So we are currently taking voting for our Hall of Fame to elect the next inductee into the Sports Unfolded Hall of Fame.
Some great players.
And for the NHL, Guy Lafleur, Danny Gar, Phil Esposito, Phil Esposito, Bill Barber, and Reggie Leach. And for our Olympic voting,
that's me.
That would be Irene Woost, Lindsey Vaughn, Ding Ning, Shelly Ann Fraser Price, and Martha. I will say this,
we got some great names there.
Lindsey Vaughn is still competing. I don't know if she should be eligible. She is leading the voting, though.
How is she competing?
She's competing. She just did an event last week.
Well, then we can't have her.
It's too late. She's already in. She's in the voting. What are you going to do?
Look, let's vote for somebody else, people.
So you got your opportunity to go to the Sports Unfolded.
Ding, ding. Come on. Ding, ding.
Sports poll. Sports Unfolded Sports poll page on Facebook. Cast your votes. The Money Star. Remember that, Ron?
I voted for Irene Woost.
He said the Money Star, Ron. Do you remember that, Kenny? I don't know what that is.
I do remember the Money Store.
All right,
Phil
Ron.
Rizzuto from the Money Store.
Oh, yeah. All right. It is time for predictions, Ron.
No, it can't be already.
It is.
It can't be.
Yeah, it is.
No.
You don't want to bring that up. Last week, 7-3. Ron, 4-6. The win percentage. Hold on, Ron. Don't put it on yet. 9-6, so 5-4 last week. Danny and Kenny, 9-1.
Kenny, look what I got for you.
The Minnesota Vikings were the only loss he had. He picked the Vikings. Everybody else he got right. Look at those bad boys for Kenny.
Al
All right.
Horford, because you're a Celtics fan, and Brandon Miller, rookie card.
All right. So this
For
is
the
what we're
Hornets.
going to do, Ron. We're going to allow the fans to get to see you for our prediction segment, since you lost the 2024 predictions, to don that wonderful Yankees cap for the rest of this segment.
Eric. I can't
Rest
do
of the
it.
segment. So here we go. The pay up. This is the results of you losing. You have to do something you don't want to do. Ron. No, other way, my friend. Other way. I want to see that Yankee symbol. I want to look at it. Look at it. There it is. Let's go, Yanks.
I need
All
one
right.
of those blurry things.
All right. All right. So if you are joining us live, Danny, you
I'll
went
tell you,
5-4
this is
last
actually
week.
a quality hat, except for that crappy logo on it.
So we are going to. You didn't win last week, Danny. Kenny,
No,
9-1
Kenny
last
won.
week. Kenny won last week. If you are joining us live,
Kenny, it's not funny.
give us your predictions as we call the games to see if you can win a prize.
This is embarrassing.
Ron, if you are ready. NBA, the 19th, you got the Denver Nuggets at the Orlando Magic.
No more voting with my heart. I keep saying that, but
And you do it every time.
I know I do. Because there's teams that I just hate. Like Kansas City.
Yeah, you can't do it, buddy.
What are we doing right now? I don't even know.
Denver
'cause this
Nuggets
is, like,
at
blocking my brain.
Denver Nuggets at the Orlando Magic on the 19th.
All right. I'm going to go Denver Nuggets.
James is going Denver. Thanks for joining, James. All right.
This is terrible.
Danny's going
I
Orlando.
look horrible.
I also went. Kenny went Denver. I went Denver as well, Ron. I agree with you there. Magic playing the Celtics right now. Speaking of the Celtics, on the 20th, Boston Celtics at the Golden State Warriors. Listen, Warriors are a 500 team. If Boston can't go in there and take care of business, I'm going to be a little disappointed. So I went with the Celtics on this one.
I also went with the Celtics. If they don't win this game, their season is over.
I really hope the clip for this
Shut
is
up.
that. Me too. I hope.
No, what do you think? I'm gonna put this out there?
I think you
There's
should.
no way. Look, I look ridiculous.
James
God,
went
I hate it.
Boston.
Oh God. I'm not losing anymore.
Danny
I'm
went
not losing
Boston.
anymore.
Kenny went Boston. All right. We got a clean sweep on that one. All right. In the NHL, Ron, you got the Minnesota Wild at the Colorado Avalanche. That's on the 20th.
Oh, me. I'm gonna go Colorado Avalanche on this. They're gonna be at home, so I think they're gonna get it done there.
All right. Minnesota, very good on the road.
I know they are.
One of the best road teams. I went with Minnesota here. And I think they're hot. They're like 8-2 in the last 10.
Yeah, so they're due to lose.
Colorado, James. Danny went Colorado. Kenny went Colorado. All right. I'm the only one going with the Wild. Also in the NHL, Ron, on the 21st, Carolina Hurricanes at the Dallas Stars. I like the home team in this one. Dallas, very good at home. I went with Dallas. Carolina not playing so well right now.
Yeah, I went with Dallas also. I think Dallas at home, they play more loose, more comfortable, and going up against a good team, I think they always show up. So, yeah, I went Dallas.
Surprising. James went Dallas. Shocking.
I'm going to need your address after this so I can send you this freaking hat.
Danny went Dallas. Kenny's just laughing hysterically. He just
Stop it, Kenny. You got to deal with me tomorrow.
Kenny, you have a pick on that game? Carolina Hurricanes at the Dallas Stars.
You're killing me, Kenny. Dallas Stars.
Is that what he went? Dallas.
Yeah, well, he has a bunch of stars.
I can't see it. All right. Clean sweep there. All right. NFL. Here we go.
Okay.
It just popped up now. On the 18th, Ron, tomorrow, Houston Texans at the Kansas City Chiefs.
I'm not going to make the same mistake. I'm not going to go with Houston, who I want to win. I'm going to go with Kansas City, who will win.
The three-peat, the run starts tomorrow. I went Kansas City as well. I think Mixon being out for Houston, very big. If he cannot go, I don't think Texans have a shot at all. That's too big of an offensive piece to lose.
Because that's the guy that they have to use to control the clock.
Yeah. James going Kansas City. Oh, Danny going Houston. All right, Danny. All right.
I hope you're right. I wouldn't care if I'm wrong with this one.
Kenny's looking for Texas. He's going Texas.
Whoa, Kenny's going Houston. See, he's picking with his heart right now.
Yes,
too.
he is. All right. Also tomorrow, the Washington Commanders at the Detroit Lions. Ron, listen, great story, Jaden Daniel. I like what Washington's been able to do. I think they're going to be outmanned here. I think Detroit, you better put that head down. I want to see that.
Come
on. But I'm going Detroit here. I just don't feel like they're going to at home all the energy.
Yeah, I'm going Detroit as well. I just don't think that they can lose this. I mean,
James says Detroit by a lot.
Yeah, I actually agree with him.
Danny, I did get you Dallas Stars, by the way. You went Detroit as well?
Yes, I'm going Detroit as well.
All right. Let's see if Kenny's got to go Lions, right? He's been telling us this for 3 years.
I know. Kenny called this.
Right? Kenny,
we got to give Kenny some credit on this. He was just a year early.
He was a couple years off. All right. Sunday, Ron. The Los Angeles Rams at the Philadelphia Eagles.
I'm going to go Rams. I just had this weird feeling.
Yeah, I like the Rams' experience. I just don't know if they can stop the run. I think Barkley still has a big game. So I went Philadelphia. I went Philly here. Rams by a field goal. James going Rams. Danny's going Eagles.
Yeah, this is that's a tough.
It's a tough game.
I think that might be the closest game.
I think I don't know that Baltimore.
No, the other one. Yeah.
All right, Kenny, what do you have? Rams at Eagles.
Who you got, Kenny? Huh? Mr. 9-1 last week.
He's already talking like a true New Yorker over there. Who you got, Kenny? Come on. Hey.
Stop it. This is terrible.
Weesh.
I hate the Yankees.
You know, the sad part, too, is back-to-back, Ron.
I know. But it's still only 2-1.
Canadians, yeah. I still got my Red Sox hat. Ron, if the Eagles win, you owe me a Dallas Cowboys jersey.
What? No.
Kenny, you picking? You making a pick, Kenny, before we move on? Kenny got the Rams. All right.
Uh-oh, I'm in trouble.
All right. The big game, Ron. This Sunday, Baltimore Ravens at the Buffalo Bills. Listen, heavy dose Derrick Henry. I think Lamar's playing some really good football. I think he's figured it out. But Josh Allen at home, I can't go against him right now and what he's been able to do offensively. And I think the defense can stop them just enough to give them a shot. So I went Buffalo.
Yeah, I went Buffalo as well, Eric. And I think this defense can stop Henry. And in fact, the cold weather may affect Derrick Henry more than anybody else because of that fact. He was so used to playing down in Tennessee. And it is going to be extremely cold for this game, said to be -3 with the wind chill. And I don't think he's going to be as effective. I think they're going to shut him down.
Is Kenny that a Raven? Danny went Ravens. Bills, every dog gets a bone once in a while. So he went Bills. All right, James. Ron went. Is that a Raven? Is that what that is? I can't see Kenny's.
Kenny is a Raven, yeah.
Okay, Kenny. Raven.
And so is Danny.
All right. All right, Ron, we got some NCAA men's basketball. Big matchup tomorrow. Number 4, Alabama Crimson Tide at number 8, Kentucky Wildcats.
Yeah, I'm going to go Alabama on this one. Even though they're on the road, I think they get it done. And, yeah, so I'll go with Alabama.
All right. Kentucky, very good at home. Both these teams score in the high 80s. They're actually like 1-3 in scoring. So I just feel the home court advantage benefits the Wildcats. I went Kentucky. Kentucky
Wildcats. Aren't there like 50 teams with the name Wildcats?
Goldie Hawn movie too. So
yes, great movie.
Danny went Alabama. Kenny went with the Cats. And James went Wild Kittens.
The Wild Kittens.
And then, Ron, our last prediction game this Monday, we will crown a national champion. Number 8, Ohio State Buckeyes at number 7, Notre Dame Fighting Irish, Ron, for the national championship. Who do you have?
I'm going with the Ohio State Bucks. Eyes.
On a delay there? I also went
I'm just trying to figure out what a Buckeye is.
Yeah.
And I'm guessing it's a Buck's eye.
Notre Dame. Okay, you went Notre Dame.
Notre Dame.
All right.
Notre Dame.
Danny went Notre Dame as well. I went Ohio State. I agree with you, Ron. I just like the way they played. I really did.
Yeah, they're not going to be
the way they beat Oregon.
Yeah.
Danny, I got it. Notre Dame. Got it, bud. Kenny, national champions. Ohio State at Notre Dame. Who do you have? I don't know why they do at. It said a neutral. I should have just said versus. But Kenny went Buckeyes. All right, Ron. That is our prediction segment. Thank you, James. You will be on our chart going forward. Love the hat. Don't lose, Ron. Don't lose. Hey, we're only 3 episodes in, so still got to wait.
The worst part is I had to contribute to that franchise.
Yes, sir. Yes. All right. So, Ron, before we get into our final thoughts,
like they can go out and get another free agent, and it because of me.
Yeah, you're going to be the reason. What will the prize be? We're not sure yet, Danny. Depends on how you finish. We will let you know. I will say this, Ron. I'd love for you to be able to tell all the wonderful people out there how they can become a sponsor of Sports Unfolded.
Yes, I will do exactly that. Your ad will be read here. We will read the ad, so not only will people see it, but it will be heard on the audio version for Spotify, Amazon, Red Circle, and many more. So send us an email at ribroadcasting.media@gmail.com. We can send you out all the information. The media kit is fantastic. You're going to love it. And it can give you all the information that you need to sponsor the show. And like I say all the time, Eric, it's just as easy as going to your local coffee shop and getting a nice hot chocolate with some whipped cream and a Boston cream donut. I have to stress that it's got to be Boston cream. Boston cream.
I don't know if they have a New York donut.
Yeah, see? They're
We'll
not
be
even
all right.
good enough to have their own donut.
Like a pizza. They're a pizza thing.
Doesn't matter.
All right. Ron, I want to thank all the wonderful people out in Dallas, Georgia, WDJY 99.1 for allowing us to grace the airwaves every Saturday at 1 p.m. As well as, you bring them up for me, 990 WBOB. We are on in Rhode Island at 10 a.m. on Saturdays as well. S5E3 Public Access Channel 12 on Tuesday nights at 10 p.m. Hugo, thanks for joining, my brother. As well as you can listen to us on all of your audio platforms from Spotify to Amazon, Google. So many different ways you can listen to us. You can also follow us on all of our social media platforms, Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, Twitter, and MeWe. So check those out, as well as TikTok. We are on TikTok as well, at Sports Unfolded and Rhode Island Broadcasting. So many different ways to like, share, follow us. So continue to do that and help us grow. We appreciate all the support we get. I want to thank everybody that joined us live tonight. Hugo, thanks for just jumping on. Danny, you've been amazing. Thank you for all the support. Kenny and James as well. You guys are always awesome. We appreciate all the support. But Ron, it is time for final thoughts, and our final thoughts don't necessarily have to be about anything sports related. It could be about anything going on in the world today. You are first this week, my friend. So please grace us with your final thought.
Yes. Well, it isn't only Bob Uecker that we lost this week. We also lost Seattle Supersonics guard, or it might have been small forward. He might have played a little bit of both. Gus Williams passed away. Gus Williams is a 1979 champion for Seattle. He was born 1953, and he just passed away at the age of 71. The two-time All-Star, two-time All-NBA, All-Rookie team. He finished second in for Rookie of the Year. Also 825 games, 17.1 points per game. So pretty good career there. 1981-82, he finished fifth in MVP. So even Gus was in the top 5 of players in a year. Unfortunately, that cannot be said of LeBron this year. So, I had to throw that in honor of Gus.
Oh,
Gus
right.
Williams passed away age 71. Tremendous player for the Seattle Supersonics. So,
all right,
another loss.
No, yeah. So yes, Danny, I will say this. Obviously the devastation in California, seeing some good come out of that, where Steve Ballmer's wife donated $15 million to try to help there, as well as Shohei Ohtani, $500,000. So you're starting to see.
Wait, how much did Shohei give?
I thought about the same thing. Listen, at this point, hopefully anything helps. So Danny, our prayers are for you. We know you're out there. So continue to, hopefully get back to some normalcy at some point. So I have a couple, Ron. I did want to congratulate, first and foremost, Dawn Staley, one of the best women's college coaches that we've seen. has signed the largest extension for a female coach, $25 million. Very well deserved. So I'd like to see the fact that we are starting to see the women's game, get closer to the men. It's still not where it needs to be, but that was great to see that Dawn Staley, one of the top women's college coaches, receiving that extension. And then also for the ladies, new league starting today. Ron, Unrivaled, the 3-on-3 women's basketball, founded by Brianna Stewart and a bunch of different, people. I thought it was great to hear it's like $200,000 per player overall average for the 2 months. They actually get equity. So if the league does well, they make money from it. Better facilities, a lot of different things that they don't get in the WNBA now. And hopefully the WNBA starts to look at it and says, look, you could lose some players. Because if this thing can take off and they can really make this thing work, a lot of players are going to look at it and say, hey, that's the way we should be treated and what we should be getting paid. So this is going to be interesting to see how well it takes off. And it
check that out.
Yeah. And Ron, on top of it, it keeps our athletes in the States. And we know what happened with Brittany Griner, and anything can happen in those countries. It keeps them in the United States, which I think is great.
Being from the United States, you're always a target.
Yeah. So I think that's great for them. So I really hope that league takes off. It starts tonight, and I think it's on TNT. I think they have a deal with TNT.
Good, because I plan on watching it then.
Yeah. So 3-on-3 tournament with the.
I was going to watch Major League, but I'll watch that.
There you go. So Ron, want to thank you. So I apologize again for starting a little late tonight, but thank you for bearing with me while I had my technical difficulties. I want to thank all of the fans out there that have liked, shared, and supported our show. Continue to do so. We look forward to doing this all over again next Friday at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We are live here, right? We are Fan Interactive, so take the time to do that for us and share our show. And all we ever ask for every single show, Ron, is that we get peace on earth.
Have a great night, everybody. Stay safe.